recording. Awesome. So hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Jennifer Abraham, and I am the graduate intern for New Student Transition Programs here at Seton Hill University. Welcome to our 20th virtual orientation event with our transfer student panel. Tonight, I'm going to turn it over to Seton Hill's Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Rosalie Carpenter, and she will introduce herself as well as our wonderful panelists who are here today.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. Emily and Jasmine, we're so happy to have you guys attend this transfer panel. All five of us, I myself was a college transfer, as well as our two panelists, Bree and Caitlin. So we're excited to kind of talk to you about life as transfers, things we wish we would have known, answer any questions you have. This is really time for you. So I mentioned I was a transfer student in undergrad and college, like you guys. I transferred the year between my sophomore and junior year of college. I went to school in Florida. That's where my family was, and that's where I lived. And it was the best decision I ever made. It was hard at first, but I'm very thankful for that opportunity. And I loved college so much that I ended up having a career in college administration. So I've been at Seton Hill now 4 years, and I serve as the Vice President for Student Affairs that Jen said. And really, I think I have the best job on campus. I get to do everything outside of the classroom. So if you guys are moving on campus, that's residence life, student organizations, orientation, athletics, diversity and inclusion programming, student conduct. I'm sure you'll never get in trouble, but if you do, if you happen to have something happen and go through a conduct process, that's all part of it. So we're so excited to have you all with us today. But you probably really want to hear from the students. They are the stars of the show. So I would love for them to introduce themselves. Jasmine's asking, do your cameras have to be on? They don't have to. We would love to see you. So that way when you're on campus and walk by, yes, look at her. She's like, all right, I'll do it. So now we'll know, like when we see you, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's Jasmine. And now I'm so excited to see her. So I'm going to have the panelists introduce themselves. And then Jasmine and Emily, I'm going to ask that you guys just introduce yourselves too. Just tell us a little bit about you and all that kind of stuff. So how about like name, hometown, what you think you're going to major in, and like your favorite summer activity or like vacation destination. So I'll let you be thinking about that, Jasmine and Emily. So Bree, why don't you lead us off and then we'll go to Caitlin.
Okay, hello, Jasmine and Emily. I'm a senior elementary and special education major. I transferred here my second semester of college, so I didn't hesitate to come to Seton Hill. I knew what I wanted right away. So I am also starting my master's in innovative instruction this fall, just a little early, getting some good things out of the way before I graduate. And I'm from Elizabeth, PA. I'm trying to think of Rosalie's questions. I'm from Elizabeth, PA, and my favorite vacation destination is Disney World in Florida. My favorite place ever.
How fun. That's awesome. Caitlin, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin. I am a junior exercise science major. I transferred after my freshman year, so into sophomore year, and now I'm 1 year down. So exciting. I plan on becoming a physical therapist, so the road to applying to grad school is narrowing down already for me. I'm from Monessen, PA, which is not too far from Bree and not too far from campus, so I commute as well. My favorite destination, I would have to just say anywhere in Florida.
That's awesome. Awesome. And Jasmine, are you like at work right now?
Yeah, I am.
That's amazing. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you work and all the other things you remember. That's so cool. I'm so impressed.
I'm actually working at Petland in Norwin, so it's not too far from the campus. I live in McKeesport, PA, which is like 10 minutes from Irwin. I'm actually a transfer from Youngstown, Ohio, and my major is going to be exercise science. And I changed my major so many times. It was so awful. I didn't even know what I wanted to be. I don't really have a vacation spot because I don't really leave town. I don't like a lot of people, so.
But you like animals.
I love animals.
That's so neat. Do you have any of your own like at home or?
Yeah, I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a bearded dragon. And then my cat just had kittens. So
Oh my goodness. Well, you work at the right place.
yeah,
You are smart. You are smart. So,
yeah.
fun fact, most college students change their major once. I think it's like 95% change their major at least once. And I think it's like it's about 82% that change it like twice. So you are in good company. I also was an exercise science major, so that is super strange that of the 6 of it, we'll see what Emily is too. Of the 6 people on here, 3 of us were exercise science. So that is kind of wild. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I was a pre-vet major at Youngstown. And then I switched to biology whenever I did the Seton Hill transfer. And then I was like, yeah, I don't even want to major in biology anymore. So I just switched.
Good. And you'll have time to explore. I'm sure Caitlin can talk you through, how long were you at Youngstown? 1 semester, 2, 4?
I was there my freshman year. So
Okay.
just 2 semesters.
Perfect. So you're not too deep in. So we've had some flexibility. Good. And we'll make sure we'll talk about some transfer credits too. Love it.
Okay.
Good. And we're glad you're here. So like right after Emily introduces, we'll come back to you and make sure like we'll ask you what questions you have. So you can, I don't know how long you have on break. So your bosses are awesome. That's cool. They're letting you do that. Emily, tell us about you.
So I am from Blairsville, PA, which is by IUP, and I am transferring from Westmoreland Community College. I'm actually going to be a senior transferring in. I have my associates in business management, and I started out going as hotel and resort management for my first semester. And then I was like, I don't want to do this. So I switched to business management, and I finished that through school and had my associates last year. And then I just finished at Westmoreland this year. I did a 3-in-1 program through Westmoreland and Seton Hill. And then I'll be coming to Seton Hill in the fall, and then I'll finish in May. And then after, I'm going back to school to be an RN through a 2-year fasting program.
Yes. Good for you. All right. You both are organized, got your stuff together. That's awesome. And Jasmine, are you staying in Norwin? You're not going to live on campus either, right? You're going to commute?
No, I'm staying on campus.
You are going to stay on campus. Okay, cool. All right. So Emily's commuting, Jasmine's on campus, and Caitlin and Bree, you both commute, right? Neither one of you are on campus. All right. Just got to keep y'all together here in the system. So good. I appreciate it. Jasmine, what were you hoping to get out of this call tonight? Were there any specific questions or anything that you're like, I hope they talk about this on the transfer panel? Like, I've got to find out about this.
I know most colleges do like summer programs or like summer classes. Do you guys do that there?
Yeah. Bree or Caitlin, either one of you take summer classes or yeah. Caitlin, talk about it a little bit.
So, I don't currently take any at Seton Hill. I take them at Cal U because some of my all of my credits actually did transfer, but I'm a little bit behind because I technically switched majors. So right now I'm taking Human Anatomy and Physiology 2 at Cal U because that is what Dr. L recommended, who is the exercise science program director. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So the good thing is if you need to get caught up, you can take classes at Seton Hill if the classes you need are available, or you can take classes anywhere and just make sure they transfer in. So in Caitlin's situation, taking a class at Cal as someone who lives in state is going to be less expensive than actually taking a class at Seton Hill. So we are happy to work with you and be flexible with that. And since you said you're living on campus, I'll let you know that something we did this year that we'll probably do again, at least next summer, is we allowed students to stay for free room on campus this summer if they were taking classes, if they had an internship, if they were working more than 20 hours a week or conducting research. So you got like a small meal plan for 2 months and it was like $650, which is like very cheap. It was like $5 a meal for 2 months for the summer, and we let students stay for free. We just really wanted to support you guys trying to take more classes, and we know the costs are high and the halls are there anyway. So either we're gonna have you all advance towards your degree and stay there or not. So that's a little bit about what we offer in the summer. And we usually release that. When does summer schedule come out? Like March? And you guys register like end of April for summer and the following fall. Is that right? March, April? I haven't registered for class, so I want to double check with the students. Yeah, they're nodding at me. So Jasmine, that's about the timeline for summer.
When I scheduled my summer classes through Seton Hill, I just scheduled them the same day as my fall classes for this upcoming semester too. It's really easy. It's not as scary as it seems.
Awesome. Jasmine, does that answer your question?
It does.
Good. Okay. I like it. She's like, I'm going to take more classes, fall, spring, summer, get completed earlier. So good. All right. Emily, when you were thinking about joining us tonight, was there anything you were hoping that we talked about, or any topics that you want to ask about?
I don't have anything that right now, but if I have something, I'll mention it.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that if you had an agenda kind of tonight, like I want, that we make sure that we take care of that. So, I feel like, Caitlin, you started to talk a little bit about transfer credits. Would you guys talk a little bit about any problems that you had with transfer credits, or, what was that process like academically for you? Yeah, I'll leave that question there.
I can go. So, like I said, all of my credits did transfer, thankfully, because I came from another Catholic university. So everything aligned for that kind of stuff. I did switch majors. So I was a biology pre-PT major. So I had taken classes that had fit into other parts of our curriculum for exercise science. So that's why I'm a little bit behind with the human anatomy and stuff like that. Amanda was an amazing transfer. She helped me get all of my credits right where they needed to be. So I had no problems when I came in, thankfully. And I did actually have a class that kind of just counted towards like my extracurriculars as well. So nothing got left behind for me, thankfully.
It worked sort of the same way for me. I would call the registrar and they would call me, and we just went back and forth on the phone while I was still at my other university. I was only there one semester, so I only took about 16 credits, and of those 16, I believe that 13 of them transferred, one of them being like the first year like college seminar, then just a bunch of other classes. But I did change my major twice in this process, so they all sort of counted as, like Caitlin said, like my extra classes, like my extra just fun classes. So that was sort of nice because I didn't really have to take that many when I came here. I had more focus on the liberal arts side of everything because I went to a public university. So that's what it was like for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think we have another person joining us. So that's fantastic. The name that popped up on the screen is Josie. And I have been doing Zoom long enough to know that maybe Josie is on the other side of this, or maybe not. So new person that joined us. Hi, my name is Rosalie Carpenter, and I serve as the Vice President for Student Affairs. Josephine Toth, fantastic. I'm joined here with two of our students, current students from Seton Hill, who are transfer students, Bree and Caitlin. And then Jasmine and Emily are fellow transfer students with you who who have introduced themselves and we've been chatting with. Josephine, I know you just jumped in and probably go by Josie. Would you unmute yourself and just kind of introduce yourself, name hometown, what you're thinking about majoring in, if you're going to live on campus or not. And we did favorite vacation destination, if you have one. No pressure.
So my name is Josephine Toth. I'm from Irwin, Pennsylvania. I'm planning on majoring in exercise science. And
Stop it. Oh my goodness. That's 4 of us of 7 on this call. That's amazing. Yes, Josephine.
my favorite vacation destination is probably Walt Disney World in Florida.
And you just matched with Bree. So you and Bree will have to plan a spring break trip. That's awesome. Fantastic. Josephine, you're in Irwin, but are you going to live on or off campus?
Oh, on campus. Sorry, I forgot that question.
Okay, so you and Jasmine just became twins because she is over in the Norwin area right now as we speak. And she's an exercise science major as well. So
That's cool.
on campus. So fantastic. That's super good. We're glad to have you. And then just give us a little background on your transfer. Have you been at your other institution 1 semester, 2 semesters, 4 semesters? What's your background with your transfer so we can help you kind of academically?
So I just have transfer credits from college and high school. So I wasn't sure if this would be like the best Zoom to join. So I figured I would just hop on anyways.
I like it. Seton Hill students are such go-getters. You guys are like, yeah, like, let me just join and see if I can get some helpful information. So that's great. I'm so glad you did college and high school. Fantastic. I think this will be helpful. I mean, anytime you have credits or would be finishing earlier, it's good to kind of have that perspective. So we're glad you're here. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So Bree and Caitlin, I have a question for you. We now have 3 transfers on the call. What should they look forward to during welcome weekend? Like, is it too cool for transfers? Should they be at everything? Jasmine obviously has a job. Like, how should they be thinking about welcome weekend as transfer students? And then what should they be thinking about like the first week or so that they're here?
Okay, so I'm going to take this from the side that I did not have a welcome weekend because I transferred in January. And I sort of wish I would have had a little more than I did because I didn't really get to meet too many people. So I would come to welcome weekend. There are a few mandatory events for transfer students. Not all of them are, but I would come to campus for sure, just trying to find your way around. We do campus tours. We can like take you through your class schedule. That would be very helpful because some of our buildings are interconnected and I know a lot of people get nervous. I was one of those people. I was so nervous about it, but again, like through that first week, like you will get used to it. And if you come to campus for the tours, we will show you everything you need to see. And so I would just take welcome weekend as trying to meet new people, trying to meet your peers, going, because we have little sessions where you can go off into your major and like your school of choice. And you can meet your professors, and that's also very helpful because our professors are just completely different than anyone you've ever met. They love getting to know you and they want to help you every step of the way. So getting to know your professors, getting to know your peers, that will just help you even more as you're transitioning to Seton Hill.
So my welcome weekend was a little bit different. Just like Bree's. I transferred in during COVID, so I didn't exactly get to experience welcome weekend like I'm told that it'll be like this year, which I'm very excited about. Most of my stuff was either online or we were very distanced from each other in like just group sessions and stuff like that. Nonetheless, I still recommend going to welcome weekend in every event, whether it's mandatory or not, because that is where I found some people that I still talk to. There is a kid that also transferred in who's an exercise science major like me. And this past 2 semesters, we worked on projects together the entire time because we knew each other and we were comfortable with it. So that's why I definitely recommend going to welcome weekend. You also learn a lot about Seton Hill during that weekend. Important things that you'll need to know as you move forward for the next 3 years, 2 years, however long you're here. So I would definitely try to work around work schedule, anything, put aside some time to come up to campus for sure.
And you'll get free lunch and dinner, so that's a good perk. Even if you're a commuter student. You'll get free lunch and dinner, which is nice.
I muted myself in case my dog barked, and then I started talking, not realizing I muted. So, and Bree and Caitlin, you'll be there, right? And you'll be wearing like identifying clothing. I remember as a transfer, I felt like everybody knew everyone, and I was like the only one that didn't know anybody. So it was really important to know, like, okay, if I go, I just need to look for them in these clothes, and I will find them. So that's great. Okay, awesome. Let's talk about classes, right? We have like 2 exercise science students, a business student. You guys have been through it. What do you think was the biggest academic adjustment? Like, what are the classes really like at Seton Hill? What are the faculty like? What's this deal with everybody having laptops? And what's one tip that you would share?
Okay, so like Rosalie just said, we all have laptops. At my first university, we all bought our own laptops if we chose to buy them. And so because of that, we didn't take them to class really unless we were taking notes on them. So when I came to Seton Hill and went to my first class and I didn't have my laptop on me, everyone was kind of looking at me like, why don't you have your laptop? And then we started doing like in-class activities on them. And I was like, oh no, I don't have a laptop. So take your laptop everywhere with you. It is your lifeline. You will do everything with it. But with that being said, we were also talking about professors. Like I said, they are here to help you. Caitlin knows more about your exercise science professors, but even like the liberal arts ones, they are here to help you. They want to get to know you, and you'll do icebreakers, but like beyond that, they'll try to like ask you what you're doing like over the weekend, like what's your favorite class so far? Just small little things, and they try. They really do.
I'll start with the laptops too. They are your lifeline for sure. If you do not have your laptop with you, you're going to either fall behind in class. It makes life so much easier with Seton Hill and sharing things and whatnot. I love my laptop. I'm so thankful that we have shared laptops like this. But more exciting thing, exercise science professors. So Dr. L or Dr. Lori, he is the program director, and then Dr. Bowman is like an associate director. She also teaches a lot of the classes. I love Dr. L. As soon as I got to my first class with him, which would be Intro to Exercise Science, which I'm sure you guys will both be taking this fall, I was like, wow, he's really cool. He was really helpful. He takes the time to get to know you very well, your goals in life, your career path and whatnot. He's very knowledgeable on everything. Like just because I want to do PT, he knows a lot about that, but he knows about OT, athletic training. He knows exactly where to point you guys. He's probably one, if not both of your advisors as well. He helped me with my transfer credits too. He knew exactly what classes to place me in and what would be helpful for me during that time. My first semester while I transferred in.
Jasmine, Josie, or Emily, any questions about classes or faculty? Anything that you guys are wondering about or thinking about? All right, cool. Feel free to unmute and ask or add to chat. Bree, go ahead.
I'll say one thing about class sizes. If you're coming from like a bigger school, you will be shocked. Our class sizes are perfect. I think they're just like the most amazing size. So in your liberal arts, you'll have like 20 to 30, I would say. I would say 30 is like your highest. And even in your major classes, I know I have like 15 and less in my major classes. So it is very nice. It's one-on-one pretty much with your professors. Like I said, they work with you. And Caitlin mentioned this, like they'll help you get into like your direct path where you want to go with everything. So use it to your full advantage. Don't be afraid to talk to them.
Yeah. The other thing about faculty that may be different depending where you've been is that we all kind of share similar spaces in a nice way. So it's almost more like a high school feel where like there's one cafeteria and we're in it all the time. Like I'll see Bree on the lunch line and be like, hey Bree, what's going on? And like, I'm getting my lunch and she's getting her lunch. Oh, hey, Jasmine, who's that?
That was my manager.
Oh my god. She's like, are you really like doing this thing for school or
Yeah, she's running to McDonald's to get my high C. So
Oh my gosh. Don't ever leave that job. That's so nice. I bet you do a good job there. People don't take
yeah,
it
like
like that unless they do a good job.
yeah, like we normally switch off like who pays for what. Like sometimes we'll order a pizza, sometimes we'll get McDonald's, Subway. So
Very cool. How long have you worked there?
I've been here since the end of May,
Oh wow.
so not too long, but
Yeah, oh my God. It seems like you've been there for
yeah.
That's nice. What a nice work environment. Jasmine, I'm not sure if you were on the call. Josephine, when Jasmine's at a Petland in Norwin. So that's where she is working right now.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, right. You're all there. You'll be like, I have to go there later. So
Yeah.
yes, that's where she is working right now. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad. So another, I think, misperception sometimes about transfer students is like, oh, they're transfers. They don't really want to get involved. They don't want to do those kinds of things. Right. That is not that you guys are here. We're going to find you. Don't think I'm not going to find you during orientation. I have your names written down. I'm so excited to meet you all. But Bree and Caitlin, what is there for transfers to get involved in?
You can get involved in anything you possibly could think of. Any of our clubs, we have a bunch of clubs that are all on Shine. You can be an orientation leader. Even you might be like, oh, I haven't been here the whole time. It doesn't matter. I haven't been here the whole time either. Neither is Caitlin. And we're still two awesome orientation leaders. I am personally a class mentor too. So it's like a TA for connections. I was the vice president and the president of the education club. I work at the Child Development Center on campus as an assistant teacher. The opportunities are there. You just have to either find them or they will find you, because Matt Zielinski, he oversees all of the orientation leaders. He found me. He emailed me one day when he was taking applications for orientation leaders, and he was like, hey, you're a transfer student. We don't have any of you on our team. Can you come like work for us, and like can you apply and like we'll interview you? And I was like, sure. And I was telling Jen earlier, like it changed my entire college like career. It changed everything. It gave me the confidence to get involved in everything I was. It helped me get involved off campus too. I have a bunch of teaching jobs off campus. So yeah, you can do anything that you want to. And like Rosalie said, they will come find you. They want you to work with them, and they're awesome people to work with. So definitely look into anything that we have like posted on Shine.
Yeah, I agree as well. You can, just because you're a transfer, you can get involved in everything on campus. So as an exercise science major, we have an exercise science club. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we didn't really get to do much this past year. I'm also part of the nutrition and dietetics club because I felt like that fit really well with the major, and it was just something I'm personally interested in. And then I also do SHU 20 when I can. So it's a leadership development program, and at the end, if you complete it all and you do a capstone project and all that fun stuff, you'll graduate with honors cords, which is really exciting if you're not in the honors program. So that's just where I'm at Seton Hill, and I'm an OL this year. So.
And Caitlin just mentioned how she's in the nutrition and dietetics club. Even though it's not directly related to her major, she's interested in it. You don't have to be majoring in like, there's like a biology club. You don't have to major in biology. You can join that club. It doesn't matter who you are. I could go join that club if I really wanted to. I don't know anything about biology, but I could, and I could learn. So just because like maybe your major doesn't fit doesn't mean you can't do it.
Absolutely. And then there's also like social clubs. I think of the beekeeping club, which is like, I mean, I was like, what? We have a beekeeping club. So they like go out and do all this stuff with bees. We have a bunch of clubs that do community service. We have a Black student union. We have a multicultural and international student organization. We have a group called Pride for LGBTQIA+ students and allies. So there really is something for everyone. We obviously have our athletics, our Division II athletics. I didn't ask if any of you is playing sports, any of you athletes. Josephine, are you coming as an athlete? No, I see Jasmine's saying no. If any of you are, you can unmute and correct me. But if you're like, maybe I just want to play volleyball or kickball or something like that, we have intramurals programs too. Our volleyball club is very active. They welcome all people of all talent levels. Like, you don't have to be awesome. Some of them are really good. And some folks, I understand, are just like there for the fun. So feel free to join volleyball club at any time too. They're always up to something. We have some outdoor volleyball courts, some sand volleyball courts. So they tend to hang out and congregate over there. So be on the lookout for that. There's a club that plays board games. I forget what they're called. All for entertainment. I might be getting that wrong, but yeah, there's like a club for everything. So be on the lookout for that as well. So I have my last two questions. So what is something you wish, so they're like before going, what is something you wish you would have known about Seton Hill, or starting at Seton Hill, or transferring to Seton Hill? One thing, if anything comes to mind, that you wish you would have known before you started. Let's give them the tips before they start.
Nothing comes to mind directly, just because I feel like Welcome Weekend really did go over a lot of things for me that I had a lot of questions about. But if there is anything I would wish someone would have told me before the semester started last fall, was that there's a place on campus for everyone at Seton Hill, which is what really made my decision to transfer. And I don't know, I just love it here.
Going off of that a little bit, I wish I would have known how close knit we are, because I was coming from a university that was literally 10 times the size of Seton Hill. So you've had your core group of friends, and that was pretty much it. Like, you didn't get to know too many people. But here at Seton Hill, I'm like little Miss Social Butterfly, and I was never like that before. I know so many people, and I'm not like bragging or anything, but like you get to know so many people, because you'll have your core group of friends, and they'll have friends, and you'll be all over the university just running around having a good time. So it is a very close-knit university.
Bree, how long did it take you to get there? Like, was it instant? Did it take a semester or two?
It took me about, I would say, a semester and a half. So my first semester at Seton Hill was when I interviewed to be an orientation leader, and that is sort of how I met all of my friends. I made friends with orientation leaders, which was really nice, because a lot of them were involved, and we're coming from all areas of the university. Like, orientation leaders were a diverse group. So I was able to meet people, and then, like I said, like, your friends bring in other friends, and before you know it, you're just talking to everyone. And I'm like a person too, I like to talk to people that are like 20 years older than me. So like, I became friends with my professors too. I'm like a little weirdo, but yeah, I just, just talk to anyone. They'll be willing to talk to you.
I remember when I came for my interview, and I was like, there's no way these people can be this nice all the time. It's just because, like, I'm here for my campus visit, or I'm here for like this job interview. Like, there is no way these students hold the door for each other and everybody says hi to each other. This is weird. I hope that the three of you find kind of what we have, right? It's not perfect all the time. I can be surrounded by people in my office sometimes, and I could still feel really lonely. There are times where I've questioned, did I make the right choice? I remember transferring, like, did I make the right choice? Should I have just stayed where I was? But you're coming here for a reason. And I hope that when it gets hard, that you trust yourselves, that you trust the instinct that you had in that moment to take a chance to come to Seton Hill. Clearly, we have all found joy and family and community, but I don't want to sugarcoat it that a transition's not going to be hard, or you're learning your new technology might be like, what is this Canvas stuff? This is frustrating. I don't understand Shine. Why is everything on the computer? My computer's not working. There will be times when it's really hard, and that frustration sets in. And again, you're surrounded by people, but feeling alone. I hope you trust yourselves and remember these moments, and remember the four of us on this call. Like, we are totally here for you. My office is in Mora. I'm in there all the time. Like, Bree knows, like, I see them in the hallway. I talk to them. Like, we really pride ourselves on being a family and a community. And I've never heard of a student saying, like, I knocked on this person's door and they didn't, that is not the case. Like, I'm excited for you guys. I truly, truly am excited for the next steps. We've got some really young, smart women who've made some smart choices previously and now to put themselves in this situation. So I'm excited for you. And it's just fun that we're all women. So I dig that. Our president's a woman. The provost is a female. Our chief finance officer is a female. So there's a lot of female empowerment on campus, lots of role models to learn from. I think I probably know the answer to this, but since I did say I had I had two questions. I have one final one, Bree and Caitlin, and I want you to be honest, not just because I'm on the call. I want you to be honest. Are you glad you transferred to SHU? Are you glad you're transferred to SHU? Yeah.
Yes, we were talking about this before everyone got on the call. I don't know where I would be if I didn't go to SHU, because my path at my previous university was completely different. I was a photography major. And then I, 2 weeks in, changed to art education. And then when I came to Seton Hill, my first week, I switched to elementary and special education. And then I became an orientation leader, and becoming an orientation leader just like sort of kicked everything off for me. And honestly, if I wouldn't have been at a small school, I probably wouldn't have become an orientation leader. I probably would have been a little scared. But yeah, just getting involved changed my life. Coming to SHU changed my life. I have no regrets in coming here at all.
I don't want to be like sappy about it, but like genuinely when I talk to my family about why I made the decision to like transfer to SHU and everything, and how like unhappy I was at my previous university, like I could cry about like my decision, how happy I am about my decision to transfer to SHU. It has completely changed my outlook on college and like where I want to go with college and stuff like that. I was definitely reconsidering my entire path before I transferred to SHU. Like, I didn't know if I could do 3 years of graduate school to become a PT. Like, I didn't know if I could finish another 3 years at my previous university. But now that I'm at Seton Hill, I am so confident in myself and where I can go with my degree and everything else. So I'm so thankful that I transferred here.
That's awesome. It's overwhelming for me too. I mean, that's what we do. That's what we want. We want you all to have the best experience. But again, we will walk with you and listen to you when you feel like things are not okay, because that happens too. I have tissues in my office for a reason, and that's just the way it goes. Or if something happened with another person that you don't feel treated you right, or whatever the case is, we want to hear about it and we want to help you with it. So let us know and we will do that. I want to be conscious of time. I've kind of gotten through all of our questions, if that's okay, but I want to see if, Emily, Josie or Jasmine has anything. You can either unmute and ask, or you can throw it in the chat if that's easier. Anything else you want to know from the ladies, from me, from Jen? Hit us with anything else that your inquiring minds want to know. Yes, that's the best question ever. I think somebody on this call can answer that.
I don't know, maybe we can. And Jen might be able to answer this better than I do. But our man, Matt Zielinski, he is your key to becoming an orientation leader. If you want, Josephine, I can send you like his email. We can get you hooked up. He's the nicest person I think I've ever met. And yeah, it's a lot of fun being an OL. You get to meet pretty much everyone at the school. It's a fun time, but I can definitely email you if you want that.
And I'll touch upon it as well, is that there is an application process that, as the ladies could probably attest to, it's really not that bad of an application. But you'll have an opportunity to talk with Matt about being an orientation leader, what got you interested in. I also would recommend during welcome weekend, or if you see their faces on campus, go up to an orientation leader. They're going to be wearing those yellow polos that Caitlin and Bree are currently wearing. So you'll be able to have those conversations, get to know more about what an orientation leader is from the orientation leaders themselves. And then in the spring, if you get accepted to be an orientation leader, we have a training process that happens in the spring. And then in the summer, we also have a short training week that leads into Welcome Weekend. So orientation leaders are some of the most wonderful people we have on our campus, and they really do a great job of helping incoming students transition and become a part of our Seton Hill community. So definitely check it out, and we can definitely send you some more information too.
Like Jen said, if you see us, well, you're gonna see us. We're gonna be running Welcome Weekend, so you'll see us. Come talk to us. I always say to my connections class and anyone I meet, I'll be your first best friend at Seton Hill if you want me to. So yeah, just come talk. I'm down.
And Jasmine and Josephine, just I'll let you guys have my email because you guys are exercise science majors. Feel free to reach out about any type of questions you have. I'm always in Boyle. I spend all of my time in Boyle, exercise science room. That is my home. I love it there. So if you come to the second floor of Boyle, you'll most likely see me sitting in the corner.
You'd be surprised, Jasmine, too. Like, I think a lot of our students might define themselves as antisocial. Definitely awkward. I even say like I'm awkward. A lot of us identify as awkward, but there's some like weird thing that happens. You know, and you don't have to be surrounded by people all the time or have like 90 best friends. But I think like Bree even kind of said, I would never have done this. I don't know what it is, you know. So one, you own it, which is totally cool. And two, you seem open to the experiences, and that's all we could ask, and that's all you should ask for yourself. So it's totally cool. Yeah. Shy at first. Yeah. See, totally. You guys need to meet too, Josephine and Jasmine. That needs to happen, but being where you are in exercise science. Jen, let's do some back end work and see if they're in any classes together. We'll make sure we actually do that. We'll check and see if you guys are connected in classes. Oh, cool. Who's your cousin, Jasmine? She's typing. I love it. We gotta learn. Oh my goodness. Yes. We know Kristen. That's crazy. Good. She'll show you the ropes too. You'll never get lost. That's awesome. And Emily, we'll certainly we want to connect with you too. And there's lots of folks on the OL team who are business students. And we also, I don't know if we have any OLs who are nursing. Do we have any OLs who are nursing? Anybody know if we have OLs? If not, I think of Chloe, who's an RA, who's nursing. We have the nursing program is if you want any connection for nursing here before you finish your business degree as well. So.
And Eleni DiLeonardo, she's a nursing major. She's an orientation leader.
Oh, great. So perfect. So good. Well, Emily, we can connect you there as well. So that will be really, really good. I'm glad to hear that. So awesome. Other questions, anything or any other comments that the students want to offer to Josephine and Jasmine who believe that they are shy / awkward / antisocial?
So that is totally me. Super awkward, antisocial. Like I said, you'll find me sitting in the corner by myself. I'll most likely just be doing schoolwork or listening to music or something. But being an OL, I think that's part of the reason why I want to be an OL is to try to get out of my shell a little bit, and because I just felt like I needed to be one to be here and share my story with transfer students and help everyone. That's what I wanted to be an OL for. But being an OL, I've definitely come out of my shell. I'm excited for Welcome Weekend and to get to know everyone better. I'm also going to be a connections mentor as well. So that's pretty exciting. Just because you're antisocial does not mean you cannot offer something as an OL or anywhere on campus for that matter. Jasmine, I work at a boarding kennel for dogs. So I personally want to be with dogs more than I like people. And we have cats and we actually had a pig this past summer, all types of things. And I also work for UPMC, the rehab clinic that is right next to Petland, Norwin. That is one of my clinics. So I get best of both worlds, and it helps me out as well as being an OL.
And Jasmine too, so you said you never left your dorm. I don't know what dorm you'll be staying in at Seton Hill, but if you're in a communal dorm, people are going to be all over the place. Like, it'll be a fun like time. Like, you'll definitely meet people in passing. That's how I met some of my friends as well. Because I did live on campus for 5 semesters. This is my first semester commuting, so I'm a little sad. But and then you also asked about Welcome Weekend. It is on campus this year. Woo woo! We're getting back to campus, and I don't remember the exact dates, so I'll let Jen answer that one.
Thanks, Bree. So Welcome Weekend is going to start on Friday, August 20th, and it goes till Sunday, August 22nd. If you are moving in to the dorm, if you would most likely be moving in Thursday or Friday morning, but you're going to be getting an email from Residence Life, and they'll be able to share information for that to you. For the two of you who are going to be commuting on campus, your check-in time will typically also be Friday morning as well. Then when it comes to Welcome Weekend at 1:30, we actually have a transfer meeting for students who are all transferring here to Seton Hill. So we have that opportunity for you all to meet other transfer students and get to connect with other people on campus. And then our kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. And to answer the question about family being welcome, your family is welcome to come as you check in, and they can stay for the transfer meeting. After the transfer meeting ends at 2:15, from 2 o'clock to 2:30 is where we have our goodbye to families. So you can give your mom and dad a big hug, say thank you so much for either helping me move in or come over and get used to campus. And then at 2:30, we kick off Welcome Weekend with just the students. But from Friday, we have a lot of fun events, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that will help you get to know all about Seton Hill, as well as get to know other students who will be attending. So there's a lot of great things that happen at Welcome Weekend. And as Bree and Caitlin said, I definitely recommend just coming. You don't have to come to everything, but the mandatory events and a lot of the other optional things that you can do are really fun, and they're going to allow you to connect with so many people on campus.
Awesome. Good questions. I think there was one Emily asked about her student ID cards. Do we get those at Welcome Weekend? Folks know what the scoop is for ID distribution. I feel like it's Welcome Weekend at check-in. I should know this. Emily, we need to find out. There's another area that does the ID cards. I hate to say that. We should know these important things, but there's another area that does ID cards, and I'm not sure the distribution of that. I believe it's at Welcome Weekend. Did you get an email? Did any of you get an email asking for a photo? Yeah. Okay. So Jasmine thinks she got an email about asking for a photo. If you did, then that's how they're making your ID card. And when you check in, we should have it like when we give you your check-in packet. That's the plan, Jen. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to mislead. Okay. So you had to send one in the link of an email. Cool. Emily, if you don't think that you got an email asking for a photo, if you've been working with Amanda Gadula in the admissions office for transfers, reach out to her and ask her for that information. Or Jen, can I ask you to make another note to follow up and just make sure that Emily is taken care of with her ID. So I do believe the plan is to use those photos, thankfully, that you get to submit them, which is nice. And then we pre-print them all. And then when you arrive, we give them to you at check-in. And then Jasmine and Josephine, your ID will be used to get into the buildings that you live in as well. So it's like you scan in and then you use it. You use it as a meal card. You guys use it for your IDs in the library. You use it to get into sporting events. You should have your ID with you all the time. So it's a good thing to have. Awesome. Good question. I want to go back through the chat and make sure I didn't miss anything else. You guys answered all the Welcome Weekend stuff. Awesome. Those were good questions. Anything else we can offer, provide insight on, share with you? All right. Silence is a good consensus. No, nothing's off topic. Oh, listen, our dining hall is no joke. What do you think? What do you guys think? Be honest about the food. You guys eat there more than I do. What do you think, Caitlin?
So since I commute, I don't have a meal plan, and I have never eaten in the dining hall except for when I toured back in high school. And from what I can recall, it was a really good meal. I really like the options that we have. I think there's always like sandwich bar and like pizza, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like they have like a special like kind of like more fancier dinner type thing to go off of. There's a fruit and salad bar, right? I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what I from 3 years ago, but I really like the food.
Yeah. What do you think, Brie?
So my previous university also had horrible food, so I feel you there. Seton Hill does have really good food. I'm not just saying that. I'm a girl that likes to eat and I know my food, okay? So there's a pasta bar, there's a pizza bar, there is a salad bar, so, which is good sometimes. Like Caitlin said, there's a sandwich bar, and then we have a main line that switches out lunch and dinner every single day. And yes, the pasta bar, amazing. They have Alfredo. They'll do like a marinara sauce, and they'll do a pink sauce with them both mixed up. They have all kinds of fun stuff. And then we have like bagels and like cereal, all that stuff. Then we have a lot of desserts too, which I'm a dessert girl. We also have ice cream, and we have the Cove too, which is sort of like a Sheets. I don't know if you toured Seton Hill. They usually take you in there and tell you it's like Sheets, but it's all made to order food, which is also really good. So you won't have an issue with the food, I promise.
And if there are any dietary issues, or if there really is something that you're like, listen, Darren, so Darren is our dining manager, you can ask them anything. If you're gluten-free, they have a special area for your bread and your bagels. If you're lactose intolerant, vegan, vegetarian, like they will work with you. They'll have stuff in the back for you. I've seen students like, hey, Miss Marcia, do you have my special cheese in the back? And they're like, hold on, Charles, let me get it for you. And like, they go back and like get this cheese. We've had students, like there's a gentleman named Alberto who makes the best soups. I've never eaten more. It is 90 degrees out and I'm downstairs eating chicken tortilla soup because Alberto made it. Like, I don't know what he does. Also we have a food truck that is up on main campus like 2 days a week. That food truck is no joke. They've done like amazing, cool, like modern food. It's not like cafeteria food put in a food truck. It's cool food truck food. So this is the 6th university I've worked, and by far this is the best dining. Also tons of healthy options. The salad bar is on point. It's like edamame and avocado and kale and spinach. It's not just like romaine, some carrots and an egg. Like, it's really high quality food. They'll have shrimp salad. They'll have all sorts of excellent fresh food. I think you'll be pleased. But anytime you eat anywhere 3 times a week, like 3 meals a day, like you get tired of it, but I don't think you'll need a DoorDash all the time, which is good. You can save some money and do some other things. You'll DoorDash once in a while because, I do, and I have a house I could eat whatever I want, but sometimes I don't want to fix it. I just want to get something else. So awesome. Oh, good. Yeah, the Cove's good too. You just got to watch your flex to make sure. We'll teach you the ways of the Cove to make sure your stuff counts for meals, or else we'll teach you the ways of the Cove. Make sure, Caitlin, make a note of that. Teach her the ways of the Cove. So, oh yeah, tell them about Vibe.
So the Vibe is kind of just like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's where I always get my lunches if I don't pack. So the calf will make like the pre-made sandwiches, salads. There's like yogurt parfaits, fruit cups. They always have like this Oreo dessert. It's really good. There's also a microwave in there, so you can heat up your food if you bring food, but there's also microwavable meals for purchase. There's snacks, there's chips, there's drinks, soda, tea, water, lemonade, the whole 9 yards. There's also, I don't know what happened to it, but there was like a coffee machine that had espresso and stuff like that, and then it just disappeared midway through the semester. So I'm not sure what happened to it, but I hope it comes back because that was my lifeline. And but I really like the Vibe. So you get this little card that you can load money onto it with cash or card, and then you use that to pay for your meals at the Vibe. It's in Boyle, which is the science building.
Where all your science classes are. That's awesome. Good Good notes. And if you have any classes like downtown in the arts buildings, if you're taking like a arts or dance or music class, there's a little cafe down there too. So you won't be far from food. I think we offer food from like 7 a.m. to midnight. So the other hours you're on your own, but there is somewhere to get something to eat. You're like eating out of the vending machine, which I've done from time to time. But you're eating out of the vending machine or otherwise you're good. So these are such good questions. Anyone have anything else? It's been really fantastic talking with you all. I know Jen has to do something. She's got to like say it because we got the recording and all of that, but it's been so nice being with you all, Emily, Josie, and Jasmine. I don't do these virtual orientation sessions often, but I requested to do the transfer one. I have a special spot in my heart for transfer students. I was one. I think sometimes we're overlooked. And obviously we have two dynamos in Bree and Caitlin. I want to personally thank you both for your time today and sharing your thoughts and your honesty and what life is like in Seton Hill and how it seems like how getting involved really changed that for you. So I'm not going to try to push that on you all, Josie, Emily, and Jasmine, but we're coming for you. Really glad that you guys attended tonight. I really appreciate your time. I want to let Bree and Caitlin, any final words from you all? I'll let you have them before Jen wraps us up.
I always say this, I live by it. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So just put yourself out there, try new things, don't be afraid. We're all friendly, I promise. We always say that we're freakishly friendly. So come talk to us, just, say hi at the very least.
Like I said earlier, there is a spot on campus for everybody, and just because you don't find it right away doesn't mean it's not there. And we're super excited to have you guys on campus soon. Welcome weekend is going to be awesome. I'm excited. Feel free to reach out to anybody on campus, anybody's here. We're always available, open to any questions and whatnot. Yeah, I will see you guys welcome weekend.
Jasmine, Josie, and Emily, we are so thankful that you joined us today, and we really hope you took a lot out of it. And I want to also give a big shout out to Bree, Caitlin, and Rosalie for guiding our discussion, for sharing everything that you had to share related to Seton Hill. This was a wonderful session. So as I said, this is our 20th virtual orientation session. We have 8 more left. And I just want to highlight a few. So if you want to mark your calendars and join us for anything else, that would be great. The big one that I want you to mark your calendars for is this Saturday, July 24th at 10 a.m. We have our final Welcome to the Hill session. This is a 2-hour session that really gives you a glance at Seton Hill. All incoming students are required to attend one of those sessions. So we had one in May, we had one in June, and our last one is in July. So we would love for you all to be there. And this will really ensure that your check-in process and your you arriving to campus goes as smoothly as possible. So that is this Saturday, July 24th at 10 a.m. On Monday, July 26th, we have Mission Monday, and the members of our Division of Mission and Identity are going to discuss the core of what makes Seton Hill so special. We'll talk about campus ministry, service, other facets about our Setonian 4 pillars. So it's going to be a great event that you should definitely attend. For your families, on Thursday, July 29th at 6 p.m. or Wednesday, August 4th at 3 p.m., we have our letting go tips for family members, which will also be with myself and Rosalie. So Rosalie will facilitate that session and present tips for family members to help with this letting go process of transitioning. And the last one I want to highlight is on Monday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. We have Acing Your Academics. So if you didn't remember now, you're not alone here at Seton Hill, especially when it comes to your education. So staff members from the Academic Enrichment and Support will discuss the Writing Center, Mathematics Enrichment Center, Academic Achievement Center, the TRIO Student Support Services, and Opportunity Program. So there's a lot of great upcoming events that we have. And if you missed any of them, you can also go on to the roadtothehill.setonhill.edu to get more information about upcoming virtual orientation events. I just want to thank all of you for attending tonight. I want to thank our panelists and Rosalie for everything that they did. I'm going to turn off the recording.